Okay, let's unpack this. We're taking a deep dive into a stack of sources about industrial automation and, well, the future of manufacturing.
That's right. And what really jumps out from these sources is just how fast manufacturing's moved. Not just beyond manual tasks, but really into these smart, connected factories.
Yeah, factories relying heavily on data, robotics, AI. It's a big shift.
A huge shift.
And understanding this, it isn't some, far-off future thing. These sources make it clear it's shaping the industry right now.
Absolutely. For companies big and small.
So our mission here is really to pull out the key takeaways, maybe some surprising details, and figure out what it all means for how things actually get made.
Sounds good. So, first up, where are we seeing this most clearly? Well, the sources point to this massive trend of wider adoption.
Right. Automation isn't just for the giant car companies or electronics makers anymore.
Not at all. What's striking is seeing it spread into sectors like food processing, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, places you might not immediately picture robots.
And the sources stress it's becoming essential, like table stakes for staying competitive.
And crucially, it's becoming more accessible. It's not just for the giants. Mid-sized, even smaller firms can now get in on it.
Okay, so wider adoption. And what's powering that?
A lot of it comes down to connected factories, this whole idea of the industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT.
Ah, the IoT, so integrating machinery, sensors, getting data flowing.
Exactly. Seamlessly integrating everything on the factory floor. And it's not just basic control.
We're talking real-time data, right?
Yeah.
Continuous streams of info.
Yeah, production data, supply chain info, maybe even customer demand, all feeding back into optimize processes on the fly. Helps minimize that costly downtime, too.
Okay, that makes sense.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. One fascinating detail popping up in the sources is the use of digital twins.
Digital twin, so like a virtual copy.
Precisely. A perfect computer model could be of one machine, could be the entire production line.
And the point is you can mess with the virtual version first.
Exactly. Run simulations, test changes, find bottlenecks, refine the whole process virtually before you touch anything physical.
Wow. That saves huge amounts of time, I bet, and cuts down risk.
Immense time, yeah.
Yeah.
Reduces risk significantly. It's brilliant for optimization.
Okay.
And then sort of layered on top of this connectivity in these virtual models, you have AI driving autonomous systems.
Right, like those self-driving forklifts you hear about. AGVs.
Yep, automated guided vehicles moving materials around. Or think about inspection robots.
So they spot problems.
They spot problems. But with AI, they can often analyze why it happened and maybe even trigger a corrective action, sometimes without any human needing to step in.
Huh. Which leads us, I guess, to how humans fit into this picture.
It does. That's another major trend.
Yeah.
Human-machine collaboration. It's not just robots locked away in cages anymore.
You mean cobots, collaborative robots.
Exactly, cobots.
Yeah.
Designed specifically to work with humans, often right next to them in the same space.
So it's less about replacing people outright, more about changing the job.
That seems to be the core idea. Cobots take on the really repetitive stuff, maybe the strenuous lifting and placing. That improves safety, reduces injuries.
And frees up the human workers for what?
Higher value work. Things like quality checks, problem solving, process improvement, the stuff that requires more human judgment and creativity.
Okay, so that points directly to a workforce shift then. The skills needed must be changing.
Absolutely. The sources really hammer this home. A need for upskilling. Things like programming basics, understanding machine learning, data analysis.
So existing roles kind of evolve, more oversight, troubleshooting.
Yes, exactly. More strategic input. And, automating the monotonous tasks, the sources suggest that can actually boost morale, let people focus on more engaging work.
Interesting. Okay, what else stood out?
Flexible automation. This is a big one. Using robotics and AI allows for, mass personalization.
Meaning you can switch production between different product versions really fast.
Incredibly quickly and efficiently, yeah. That kind of agility is huge.
Yeah.
Think about reacting to sudden market changes or supply chain hiccups.
You can reconfigure things much faster.
On demand, potentially.
Yep.
Plus, the precision you get with automation often helps with sustainability, optimizing how materials are used, cutting down waste.
Makes sense. And all these pieces, the IIoT, the AI, the cobots, they fit into that broader Industry 4.0 concept, right?
They do. It's about linking the whole ecosystem. Suppliers, factory, customers using AI, IoT, cloud computing, giving managers real-time insights across the board.
Spotting issues before they blow up.
Even traditional components like PLCs, programmable logic controllers, the things that tell machines what to do,
Yeah.
they're evolving too. Integrating with AI, maybe predicting failures before they happen based on sensor data, or adjusting processes dynamically.
So boiling it down, the key benefits coming through are consistency, accuracy,
Definitely. The ability to scale up fast when demand jumps.
empowering people for better work.
Right. And ultimately, despite the upfront investment, driving down operational costs over time.
And we see real-world examples everywhere. Tesla's use of robots is famous.
Yep. IBM using AI for predictive maintenance, NVIDIA with digital twins, Amazon's warehouses are a huge example of AGVs and machine learning for logistics.
But it's not all smooth sailing. There are challenges.
Oh, for sure. Bridging that skills gap we mentioned, training, upskilling, it's critical.
And cybersecurity must be a huge concern with everything connected.
Massive. You absolutely need robust security encryption, network segmentation, the works. It's a major risk factor.
So a gradual approach is probably smarter.
Often, yes. The sources tend to recommend a phased adoption. Start small, test it, refine it, then expand. It's definitely a journey.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big picture? These sources show manufacturing automation isn't science fiction, it's here.
It's here now. Driving efficiency, flexibility, and yeah, fundamentally changing the game for factories and the people working in them.
It seems to be about working smarter, scaling faster.
Absolutely. But here's something really interesting to chew on. As this automation gets smarter, more autonomous, making decisions humans used to make,
Yeah.
what completely new kinds of jobs, maybe creative roles, strategic roles, might pop up in manufacturing that we can't even properly imagine right now?
That is something to think about as you see all this automation unfolding around you.
Next driver.